When God truly wants you to date someone. When it comes to love, we all have our own unique stories and experiences. For some people, love is a slow burn that gradually develops over time. For others, love happens in a moment and they never look back. But regardless of how you fell in love, one thing is for sure, God wants you to be with someone. If you're like most people, you've probably tried online dating at some point in your life. And if you're like most people, it didn't go too well. But what if I told you that there's a better way to find love, and it doesn't involve online dating? In this video, I'll share with you the steps you need to take to find your soulmate. There is something special about dating someone God has chosen for you. It's not just the date itself, but being in relationship with someone who is meant to be a part of your life. It's like they were designed specifically for you. The chemistry is perfect, and there's a peace and assurance that comes with knowing that God has ordained this particular relationship for you. Dating can be a lot of fun, and it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to go through an online dating process or try to find the perfect person. God has already chosen someone for you, and all you have to do is get ready to fall in love. When it comes down to it, there are a few things you need to do if you want to find someone God wants you to date. First, set your boundaries. You don't want to get emotionally attached to someone who isn't compatible with you, or who won't make a good partner for you. You need someone who shares your values, who is similar in temperament and personality, and who can support you in your spiritual walk. Second, find a community that aligns with your values. This will help you connect with them on a deeper level, and it will also help you find someone who matches your personality. If you're looking for love that goes beyond dating, find a church or faith-based group that resonates with you. They offer fellowship and support, which will be invaluable in finding the right person. Third, take the time to get to know them. This isn't just a casual date. You need to invest your time and energy into getting to know this person. Go out with them, share common interests, and connect on a deeper level. If you're looking for a serious relationship, dating someone is the first step. Remember, God wants you to find love, and He has already chosen someone for you. All you have to do is get ready to fall in love. God has a purpose for dating and marriage. He created us to be in relationship with one another, and He wants to bless our relationships. Here are 6 reasons why dating and marriage are important in God's plan. 1. Dating helps us find our unique worth. We need to learn how to be genuine, authentic, and faithful to ourselves before we can be those things for others. When we date honestly, we learn what makes us happy and what doesn't. This is a valuable lesson that can be applied to all areas of our lives. 2. Dating helps us find someone who will complement us. No one is perfect, which is why it's so important to find someone who complements our strengths instead of trying to change or fix us. When we date someone who complements us instead of tries to take over or dominate the relationship, both of our lives improve. 3. Marriage is a sacrificial act. It's not about getting what we want or making ourselves happy. It's about giving sacrificially and serving the other person honorably. In marriage, we learn humility and how to put the other person first. This type of love is something that's difficult to find and is very valuable in the long run. 4. Marriage creates a family. When we marry, we create a family where we can learn to love, cherish, and support one another. This is something that's hard to find on our own, and it's crucial in building a strong foundation for our lives. 5. Marriage provides stability and security in our lives. When we get married, we commit ourselves to each other for the rest of our lives. This type of commitment brings peace, happiness, and stability into our lives. We know that no matter what happens, we have each other's support. 6. Marriage is an opportunity to become closer to God. When we get married, we open ourselves up to God more fully than ever before. In marriage, we learn how to communicate with our spouse openly and vulnerably, which allows us to grow closer to Him. There are many reasons why dating and marriage are important in God's plan. However, the most important thing is to remember that He has a purpose for us, and He wants us to find happiness in our relationships. Signs that God is ready for you to date. If you're ever wondering if God is ready for you to date someone, here are a few signs that you should take into consideration. 1. You find yourself drawn to someone new. 2. You feel a deep connection with this person. 3. You find yourself praying about the relationship and whether or not it's the right thing for you. 4. You start making excuses not to date because you're afraid of what people might think about you. 5. You've developed healthy boundaries around your dating life and don't allow people too much access to your personal life. If you're dating and have questions about what God has planned for your relationship, please don't hesitate to talk to Him. He is always there to help us grow in our relationships and find happiness. What do you think are signs that God is ready for you to date? Let us know in the comments below what God wants for you in a relationship. We all know that dating is a big part of life. Dating is definitely something that's important to us all. However, what does God want for us when it comes to relationships? In a recent article on the Huffington Post, author Danielle O'Brien discusses how God wants us to date someone who will make us happy. According to O'Brien, if we date someone who makes us miserable, then we're not really living our best life. Instead, God wants us to find someone who will make us laugh and feel loved. In other words, dating should be enjoyable for both parties involved. Of course, finding someone who ticks all of these boxes isn't always easy. But if we keep God at the center of our relationships, then we'll be able to navigate any challenges that come our way. After all, He knows what's best for us. How to date the right person. When God truly wants you to date someone, it means that He has a plan for your relationship. You should never date someone only because you feel like it's what God wants for you, but also because you feel drawn to them and want to go on a meaningful journey with them. Here are some tips on how to date the right person. 1. Do your research. When you're looking for someone to date, it's important to do your research. Go out and spend time with them. Talk to their friends and family, and look at their social media profiles. Get to know them as an individual instead of just a potential partner. 2. Be yourself. It's important to be yourself when you're dating. If you try to be someone you're not, or if you put too much pressure on yourself, it will only lead to disappointment. Let go of any fear or hesitation that could hold you back from dating the person God has called you to. 3. Respect their boundaries. No one is perfect and everyone has their own set of boundaries. Be respectful of those boundaries and don't try to push them too far. If they're not comfortable with a certain type of relationship or activity, be respectful and don't pursue it. 4. Be supportive. When you're dating someone, it can be tough at times. Be supportive and understanding. Let them know that you care about them and want to help them in any way possible. 5. Communicate openly. It's important to communicate openly with your date. If there are any concerns or issues, communicate them as soon as possible so that they can be resolved. Don't wait until things get complicated. Address the problem head-on from the start. How to deal with negative thoughts when you're ready to date again. When you're ready to date again, it can be hard to shake the negative thoughts that creep into your head. But remember that God is with you, and He wants you to find happiness. Here are a few tips on how to deal with negative thoughts when you're ready to date again. 1. Talk to God. When you're feeling stuck, talk to God about your concerns. He can help you understand why you're having these thoughts, and He can give you wisdom on how to deal with them. 2. Get moving. When it comes to dating, sometimes the best way to shake off negative thoughts is to get moving. Take a walk, go for a run, or do some other activity that will get your blood flowing. 3. Stay positive. It can be tough to stay positive when things aren't going well in your dating life, but remember that everything will work out in the end if you keep faith. Stay positive and don't give up on yourself. 4. Talk to a friend. If you need someone to talk to about your dating woes, reach out to a friend. They'll be able to give you some advice and support as you work through these challenges. Putting God's plans first in your relationship. When God truly wants you to date someone, He will lead you to them. This doesn't mean that you have to blindly follow His lead, but instead trusting Him to put you in the right place at the right time. If God is directing you to pursue a certain person, then putting their well-being and happiness first should be your #1 priority. Make sure that whatever decisions you make are based on what is best for them, not what makes you feel good in the moment. Sometimes we can get so wrapped up in our own desires that we forget to consider what is best for the other person involved. If things don't work out between you and your date, be honest with them and explain why it didn't work out. Don't try to ruin their reputation or make them feel like they made a mistake by going out with them. Just let them know that things didn't work out for whatever reason and move on from there. If everything goes according to plan and you end up dating the person God has chosen for you, remember to cherish every moment together. No relationship is perfect, but if both of you are willing to put God first in your relationship, then there is a good chance that it will be strong and enduring. Finally, it can be really difficult to know when God is telling us to start dating someone. You may feel like you're not ready, or that the person you're interested in is just not right for you. But if you pay attention to the prompts He provides, eventually you will find yourself dating the person He has chosen for you. Sometimes it takes a little longer than we would like, but His timing is always perfect. So don't be afraid to go out on some dates, especially if they seem like they might be a good match for you. Just remember to trust God and do what He says, and everything else will fall into place along the way. God bless you.